Hey guys, this is Undercover Dudes all the way from Down Under, and today we're going to be doing a first look impressions of the new map in Ironsight called Cruise. And boys, this map is pretty good indeed. I say first impressions, but I've had a few games on it, and I have to say, it's definitely one of the better maps in Ironsight. It is really, really beautiful. Just having a look at the graphics, the aesthetics, this map looks absolutely fantastic. It is a really, really nice map to go and look at. But it also has a lot of detail in terms of how it's set out, in terms of what you can actually go and do. So as you can go and see, we've got the center path, the right path, and the left path. Now, the right path here, it's through the casino. And this casino, it's pretty stock standard. There's nothing really to go and say about it, but it does look very nice. This center area, it's a little bit open. We've got an interactive moment here where this goes and gets pushed up. But we also have the left-hand side, and with the left-hand side, you can go out, and it's a much more wide open area, a bit better for snipers. Now, the thing is, with Ironsight, with the majority of their maps at least, is that the way they're set out, you can go and play the game how you want to. It's not really a close range or a medium range or a long range map for anything. I didn't have my hand on the keyboard. It's not set out in a way that you have to go and play a certain style. You can go and play the style that you want. And for this one, for this game in general, I like playing up close and personal with a very high damage or high DPS weapon. And this gun right here, the MG3, it has been buffed, hence why I wanted to go and show you guys. And it is a monster in close to medium range, an absolute monster. Does it go and beat out the AR-57 and guns like that? Well, no, because the hip spread is still pretty bad. But in close range, it annihilates people. That was a versus P90, by the way, and I won it. But when you get a little bit of the medium range fights as well, you can still go and put a lot of damage out too. Now, specifically, what has gone and increased with the gun? Well, it's got increased damage. That's the first thing. It also has got a decreased accuracy, but an extremely significant increase in fire rate. And the fire rate was already insane with this gun. So to make it even higher, when you can just go and do what I'm doing right now, like, it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. This gun is just simply more fun to go and use than something like the AR-57. But it's not as consistent. It's definitely not as consistent. And can I... Oh! I greeted for the double kill, and I get shut down. I didn't know there was a little ledge there. I thought I could go and angle it in. But hey, the more I go and play this map, the more I will go and know. But with that said, boys, this gun, it's good. It's not as consistent. Like, I would pick an AR-57 normally if I was going for these full rush routes, but it's still a really good gun, really good gun, and it was already really good before. So boys, what we're going to be doing is checking out another one of the buffed light machine guns, and that's the PKP. And the PKP, it gets interesting, because the gun, it hit hard. It really did hit hard. But now, it doesn't hit harder in terms of damage, but the accuracy, has it decreased? What happened? The accuracy has been decreased, but the rate of fire has been increased. Why increase the rate of fire in a high damage light machine gun? I do not know why, but I don't know. But the gun's good. The gun's really good, and that's why I want to go and show you guys. One person here, another person here. Like, you just run up on people. And if you're playing objective mode, boys, it's some good stuff. But, like, look, for example, a bit more long-rangey type stuff. The recoil, it's difficult to go and control. You have to go and play a little bit, you know, a bit more up close for it. So let's go and whack on the PKP and see how this bad boy goes. Now, as you can see, I'm running the laser sight on each and every light machine gun. And the reason is very simple. The hip spread is pretty bad, so you have to go and bring it in a little bit more. And the laser sight goes and does that. Now, this gun, you're not going to get as many close range kills, but medium range, the recoil isn't as good. Like, the recoil is more manageable on this gun than the MG. So therefore, you can bring it out the medium range, and it also goes and has quite a lot of damage behind it. By the way, the reason I'm looking down is because I've got my phone up with the patch notes. But boys, we're organized here. We're organized here. I'm giving you the absolute facts. Now, as you can see, like, the recoil is a bit more easy to manage because you're not firing as fast, and with that, it's better at medium range, but not so good at close range. So we've got our use cases defined when it comes to weapons like this. Now, am I going to go and check out the other light machine guns, the Ultimax and all that? Well, no. The reason why, it's because it has worse stats, but it has a larger magazine. I don't care about the larger magazine. I care about raw power, raw DPS, because I'm a rusher, I like shooting things. So with that type of gun, I'm not really that keen on using it, but it's still, you know, pretty good for objective modes. But this gun is still pretty good as well for objective modes, because with that 75 bullet magazine, you can still go and kill quite a lot of people. Now, where's that guy that launched? Okay, so like, look, medium range, bang, 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 he's dead. Like 4-shot kill or something like that. Or maybe I'm not counting right, but who knows? So let's go and hop on to the DMRs, the HK and the M39, I believe. They have been buffed. Now, how they have been buffed? We'll have to go and look on the patch notes. But the thing is with the DMRs, they often got left by the wayside. But the SVD in the previous patch was actually really, really good, because what you would go and do, you could strap like a thermal sight and just go to town on people, just tap firing really quickly. But the semis, they had a buff, but it feels like it's a nerf, to be honest, because the fire rate has been significantly decreased, and I don't really like that. I like an increased fire rate with my semis, and I believe the DMRs have got an increased fire rate. But I believe they also got increased damage. We'll have to have a look. Okay, so with the HK, it has got an increased damage multiplier for head, neck, and chest shots, decreased accuracy, and decreased mobility. So overall, it's if you miss your shots and you shoot them in the arms or the whatever, you get a better multiplier. Therefore, you can get more consistent kills, and that's really good, because when what happens in Ironsight quite a lot, you're not going to go and get those center mass shots. You're going to be shooting them in the arms and stuff like that. And a gun like this, where you really need to go and be hitting those shots, it can go and help out with the damage multiplier. It's definitely not a big drastic change in comparison. I want to go and get that. I want to go and get those points. Wait, there's somebody up here. Hello? There we go. Oh no! I was behind a wall. I was behind a wall. Come on. This is a new end screen, by the way. I forgot to go and point it out. It's very clean, tells you about your count level, weapon XP, your match reward. It's really just out there, just nice and easy to go and look at. Alright boys, so we'll hop into another game, and sadly not a cruise one, but we'll do another cruise match before we go and end today's video. And I'm using the SVD just for a little bit to go and show you how hot garbage I am firing as fast as I can, by the way. This is as fast as the SVD goes now. It is so sad. Alexa, play Despacito, because the SVD is complete garbage, and it's depressing. On the previous patch, the SVD, man, it was a beast. It was so fun to just go and rock a thermal sight like I'm doing, and just go and tap away at people. It had a decently fast fire rate. It did a lot of damage. It was a lot of fun to go and do. And supposedly they went and buffed it. Well, nothing's been buffed, because the gun's just hot garbage. Like, look, the fire rate is so bad. And supposedly it has higher damage or something like that. SVD was so fun, now it's so boring and slow. And it makes me sad, it really does. So, let me try to go and get a kill. Like, for example, this guy right here. Okay, so you can go and get one-shot headshots now. So if you're really good at sharpshooting, like you can see, it actually is quite useful. But, I generally, like, why are people just proning on the ground? I thought nobody proned in this game, but supposedly they go and do. Supposedly they do. But yeah, they took the fun away from the gun. It might 2-hit or whatever, but I don't know. Okay, so I'm looking at my phone right here. It decreased the damage multiplier for head and neck shots, decreased the rate of fire by 9, and increased the recoil control from 53 to 64. Well, who cares about the recoil control when... like, the recoil resets! Like, I'm not pulling down at all. There doesn't need to be increased... okay, it doesn't need to be increased recoil control when the gun already... like, it fires so slow now. It's Resident Sleeper, boys. Alright, boys, the game cucked me out of another cruise. It just doesn't. I've been dodging queues, dodging matches left and right. And, by the way... It feels like that animation, by the way, with a grenade, where it didn't go and cock the grenade, it just went and threw it. I don't know if it's a glitch or whatever, but it feels really inconsistent. Really inconsistent. It feels that sometimes it goes and pulls the pin out and then throws it, and then other times it doesn't. Like, for example, like here, it pulls the pin out, but before it didn't. Am I crazy or whatever? But I swear it didn't. But now we've got the MK46, and this is supposed to be like one of the more objective-based ones because it has 100 bullets in the belt. But man, this brings me back like nostalgic memories of combat arms and shit using this weapon in Fireteam. I know I shouldn't be bringing up combat arms in another free-to-play first-person shooter, but who cares? It's my channel. And this gun just brings back a lot of memories, and honestly, doesn't actually seem that bad. I've just been, you know, using it for a little bit here. The gun, it's pretty good. But yeah, just from these very first impressions, I can get, you know, a decent feel of how good a gun is, and it's not that this gun is bad. I don't feel there's many bad guns in Ironsight. Ironsight is one of those games where you can use quite a lot of weapons, and quite a lot of weapons really well. It's just, there is weapons that are just significantly better that you would want to go and use, but it has a Modern Warfare 2 mentality where older weapons are actually, I wouldn't say A-okay, but a lot of the weapons are very viable. It's just how you go and use them, versus this gun is just complete dog shit, don't go and use it. It doesn't really feel that way for Ironsight, at least, in my opinion. But with that said, we have a few more problems than just, you know, weapon balancing. I'm still gotta go and get that. Hopefully the Asian server. Can we get an Asian server? Please, okay, let me stop right now. We have North American server, fantastic. We have European server, fantastic. We've got South American. But what about everybody that is around the equator in that general Australia, Asia, Korea, Japan zone that don't want to go and play the game in the Korean version or whatever? Well, the Koreans will play the Korean version, fair enough. But for everybody else that doesn't want to go and buy an account, because you have to go and buy an account in order to go and play the Asian version. And yes, I bought an account to go and try out the game before it came out. Don't ban me or whatever. But yeah, with that said, we need an Asian server ASAP. Playing on 250 ping, it's fine for me because I know how to work around the 250 ping. But my friends refuse to go and play it because 250 ping is laggy. Well, it is, and they just can't go and handle it. And that's fair because they never played on 250 ping all their life. But I did, because I played Combat Arms for fucking 8 years. So I know how to go and work around lag and how to go and exploit it to my advantage. And even though it's still playable and fun for me, it's not really that fun or playable for people versing me, especially when I'm rocking an AR-57 or a gun like that. Those guns just, they shred. My aim is, oh, it's not so good, boys. It's not so good. It's not so good. Where is this guy? There we go. Spray him down with the MG. The MK, sorry. I've still got 70 bullets in a magazine, so it's definitely good if you play on objective mode. I can't speak properly today, Jesus. But hopefully we can go and get one more match of cruising. That would be fantastic. And you know what we're going to be rocking, boys? We're going to be rocking the most fair and balanced submachine gun in the game. The AR-57. Alright boys, we hopped into another game and I'm using the fabled AR-57, the most overpowered gun in the game. Let's go and have a little bit of discussion about it, because I don't know if you guys know, I know it might be hard to believe, but this gun may need a little bit of a nerf. I know, shock horror, guns needing a nerf, the AR-57 being one of them, but like, sarcasm aside, it really does. The gun is very strong. Right now, when it comes to Ironsight, in the SMGs at least, you have a lot of choices, but if you want to go and actually shoot people and have the highest chance of killing them, what are you going to go and use? You're going to use the AR-57, you're going to use something like the Vector. Well, you're going to be using the AR-57. The gun's just an absolute beast, and there is no other gun in the game that is as good at medium, close, and short range. There is no weapon out there. This gun, it takes no skill. And when it comes down to it, the developers have been really apprehensive in nerfing it. And I kind of understand, because the more nerfs you make to a game, the more you kind of alienate the community or whatever. But you just can't leave this weapon open. It needs to be toned down, because the other SMGs are not bad. They're like not bad weapons. It's just you want to go and use the best weapon. And the best weapon right now is the AR-57. Alright boys, so this game is actually pretty close, so I feel like I'm gonna go and put my tryhard pants on. We're gonna go and hop in here, and I'm not actually sure what happens. Alright, we go up in the sky, boys. Alright, okay. This gives a little bit of a vantage point. I don't know where my enemies are, but they're around here. And they're trying to lob grenades into here. Bad luck, buddy, bad luck. Okay, let's put a little bit of damage down. And I got shot from a... Sure, you shot me through the ground. Sure, no problem. But yeah, the AR-57, the gun is just so good. The gun is so good, there is really no other reason to go and use any other weapons. There really isn't. And did I? I shot the top. No, I thought I shot the top. Alright, see you, mate. You got the grenade launch there, you get destroyed. And let's try to go and maybe pull out a win. But I really don't know. This guy with the bloody grenade launcher is such a pest. Such a pest. Very annoying. Oh! Let's go! Those headshots with a revolver, the last one right there, put him right in the skull. I'm wrecking this enemy team. Absolutely destroying them. And a lower headshot multiplier reduced on the AR-57 really doesn't feel like it. The gun feels exactly the same. And turning on this kill streak while this thing here, the Metal Reaper, is alive, bad decision. Bad decision. Overall, I have to say, Cruise, really fun map. Semi-nerfs, whatever. But the MG buffs, they're pushing into overpowered territory. And that is very, very interesting indeed. And I get the triple here, but with the AR-57, whip out the revolver, get the double, and dome him for the triple. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to go and give it a like rating. But other than that, Undercover Dudes, all the way from Down Under, out.